You say plant a ZZ plant.
ZZ plant.
Yeah, you plant a ZZ plant. High five. Good job. It's time to make our thumbs a little greener. On today's episode of Wisconsin Wonder Garden, we're going to be taking a look at the ZZ plant propagated cuttings that we took in a previous video. Super stoked about the growth that we've seen in these cuttings so far. We've just had them sitting in a cup of water. If you haven't seen the previous propagation video and need to know how to propagate the ZZ plant, I will have the link in the description below so you guys can check that one out. But like I said, I'm super happy with the growth. We've got roots shooting out of every single one of the cuttings that we took now. And the reason why I'm putting them into a pot is that those roots are totally developed to a point where they're barely growing in the water now. So I think that's a good sign to us that shows us that we can now put it into some soil. So we're going to do that today and show you guys what kind of soil to put your ZZ plants in once you've propagated them via water like we did, and also what sort of a watering schedule you guys are going to want to keep them on carrying forward. Alright guys, the moment of truth. I know you've all been waiting anxiously to see how these cuttings are doing. As you can see, every single one of them, all 9, have now rooted and are doing really well. At first, the younger ones did not root as quickly as some of the other ones, but I didn't think it was going to be an issue, so I kept them all in there, and sure enough, they rooted. I just changed the water maybe once every 3 weeks, if that, and that's been it. It's just sitting about 2 feet away from our eastern facing window, so it's not getting a ton of direct light, but it's getting enough indirect light from the sun to where it's not going to be producing algae, yet it's going to help induce some growth within the plants. That's going to be an ideal condition if you have an eastward facing window. Just set it a few feet off of that and you should be set. These things have just blown me away. I'm so amazed that every single one has rooted like this. Whether it's a leaf propagation like this that I just ripped right off the plant, or it was a larger cutting like this one. So with that being said, let's get these things potted up. I thought it would be fitting to have the mother of all of these clones shown in this video, and this is her right here. Since we took the cuttings, there's been 2 whole new shoots of leaves coming up, and I'm really happy about the growth that we've had in the ZZ plant. And I am so happy that we finally got one of these inside the house. It's a really great plant to have inside. Couldn't recommend it more. The soil that we're going to be using today is this Espoma organic cactus mix. I'll leave a link to it in the description below. But a ZZ plant can really tolerate a wide range of soil compositions. The important thing is that whatever soil you put it in is well draining. So if you don't have access to a cactus mix, a succulent mix, or a well draining indoor plant mix, then what I would recommend doing is just taking regular soil and perlite and mixing a 1-to-1 ratio. So 50% soil and then 50% that perlite, and you will be set and ready to roll. In this case, I would just prefer to buy this and get it into these planters right here, just for my own ease. Getting plants.
You got a plant?
Yep.
Oh, I got dirt.
Yeah, dirt.
Oh, okay, that one.
Do you want to help me plant these?
Yeah.
So all we did was fill these pots up with the soil, gave it a light tamping on the top in order to make sure that it's slightly pressed down. Now we're going to make little holes. Can you put a hole in the middle?
Yeah.
Right in the middle there? Right there. Big hole there.
Big
See,
hole.
just like that. Make another hole here. Good. And this one? Okay, and that's where we're going to put the plants. So Sterling, do you want to put the plants in there?
Yeah.
One in each? Okay, push it down.
Let's put that down.
Yep, okay, right there. Right on top of the soil.
Oh.
You don't have to be too precautious of how deep these are planted, but really like we're doing here, we're just going to set it in the soil and push it right around it like so. Put that one in there. Just drop it in the hole. Good. And push the dirt in around it.
My foot is about it.
And there we have 3 of them. So this is what they look like now that they're planted. I wanted to give you a nice close-up shot of what it looks like so you guys can get a nice detailed idea of how far you might want to put these down into the soil. When you buy them from the stores, generally you'll see them propagated via leaf cuttings, just like this. And typically I see about 1/2 inch of the original leaf set put under the soil. And so that's just what I'm going to duplicate here, and that's also what I know works. You can bury it down deeper or have it right up on the surface if you want, as long as those roots are down below the soil and are going to be able to contact all the nutrients that they need. What we're going to do today is just give it a light watering, and after that we're going to continue on with our standard watering schedule. With these easy plants, I water them once every 3 weeks, unless you reach down into the soil with your finger and it's moist up to the second knuckle, then I won't be doing any watering for a few more days at least. Sterling, did you get the plants put in?
Yeah. My planted that ZZ plant.
Yeah, you planted ZZ plants. High five. Good job.
3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4.
Woohoo!
46.
Give us a thumbs up for perfect counting. High five, buddy. Okay, so here we have all 6 pots planted up, and actually while we were in the process of putting them into the soil, some of the propagations that had 2 leaves coming on it came apart, and both leaves had root sets on them, so we actually had more of them than we thought we would. So here's the exciting part though. I decided to give you guys a couple of twists while we're growing these ZZ plants. Just for proof of concept, we took 2 of these pots right here and used straight up peat moss with a tiny little bit of perlite that just happened to be sitting in there, but it's totally negligible amount. So 2 of these are just peat moss, just to show you guys that you can plant these in multiple different types of substrate. This is going to be a proof of concept with this one. I'm also throwing you guys a twist and growing them in different lighting conditions. I'm going to grow half of them over here in our plant area, right next to our eastern facing window. And then the other half, I'm going to be placing them about 12 feet away from our eastern facing patio door. So those plants are going to be getting hardly any light at all. So if it is this magical low light plant that we all hope it is, this test is going to show us some very conclusive results with that. So there you have it. We're about to have a lot of fun with this experiment in these ZZ plants. Me, my son, and all of these ZZ plant clones, thank you so much for watching. I hope you're all having a great gardening adventure, and we'll see you in the next video.